Welcome back everybody to CoinMarketCap Daily on the middle of the week, the 29th of September. My name is Trev, and as always, make sure to like this video and stay tuned until the end, as there's some stories you don't want to miss. And as September is soon coming to an end, our news coverage doesn't. So let's get started with the NFL and NFTs. Then we'll talk about the SEC hiring someone who is a strong critic of decentralized finance. And then we'll end our day with why there was a $100,000 Tether transfer that costed $23.7 million in fees. So let's get started with NFTs in the NFL. Given that the NBA scored big with the top Shot NFT offerings, the NFL wants a piece of the action. Dapper Labs, the NBA Top Shot developer, and the NFL announced a deal this week to create a line of video clip-based non-fungible token collectibles. Terms of the deal were not released, but an anonymous source said that they would be very rich indeed. In May 2020, the league and union signed a 6-year, $1.6 billion deal with EA that Sports Pro Media said would bring the players $600 million. While that doesn't necessarily mean the Dapper Labs deal will be worth anything like that sum, it's worth noting that CryptoSlam puts NBA Top Shot's total sales at nearly $722 million since its October 2020 launch. While that includes buyer resales, it accounts for 9.8 million transactions by more than 564,000 fans and collectors. While the report didn't mention it, the NFL's NFT marketplace will certainly run on Dapper Labs' new Flow blockchain. Despite its steep drop in sales, the NBA Top Shot line of digital trading cards remains the number 4 top-selling line of NFTs, after Axie Infinity, CryptoPunks, and Art Blocks. Next, let's talk about the Securities and Exchange Commission, who recently hired a strong critic of decentralized finance as its top lawyer. The enforcement agency's latest hire draws a line under indications that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler is planning an aggressive crackdown on cryptocurrency markets and unregulated decentralized finance protocols and projects. Dan Berkovitz will join the SEC as general counsel after stepping down as commissioner of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission on October 15th. He will take up his role at the SEC on November 1st. In a news release, Berkovitz said, "I'm excited to work again with Chair Gensler on regulatory agenda that will enhance investor protection, strengthening our capital markets, and facilitate capital formation." He also stated regulated and licensed intermediaries must meet established standards of conduct and can be held legally responsible for failing to meet those standards of conduct. Intermediaries can be held accountable when things go wrong. Noting that DeFi supporters argue that cutting out intermediaries like banks, exchanges, future commission merchants, payment clearing facilities, and asset managers offers consumers more control over their investments. Berkovitz suggested that they provided too many critical financial services to investors to lose. In a pure peer-to-peer DeFi system, none of those benefits or protections exist. There is no intermediary to monitor markets for fraud and manipulation, prevent money laundering, safeguard deposited funds, ensure counterparty performance, or make customers whole when processes fail. Berkovitz concluded his remarks with a call to action. For all these reasons, we should not permit DeFi to become an unregulated shadow financial market in direct competition with regulated markets. Regulators need to focus more attention to this growing area of concern and address regulatory violations appropriately. Lastly, let's talk about the recent Tether transfer that costed $23.7 million in fees. In an industry inundated with stories about ransomware, 9-figure hacks, and regulatory's cry for greater investor protection, it's nice to be reminded that cryptocurrency is still small enough to be a community where people look out for each other. So it was with the Poly Network hackers' return of $612 million in August, and so it was late on September 27th, when an as-yet unidentified Ethereum mining pool gave the decentralized cryptocurrency exchange DeversiFi back the vast majority of the 7,676 ETH, worth $23.7 million it accidentally spent on a single transaction valued at about $100,000 a day earlier. DeversiFi offered a 50 ETH return fee after the miner replied to an email passed on by its exchange and quickly returned the funds. So what went wrong? The problem was threefold. CTO Conrad Strachan said an issue with the Ethereum EIP 1559 upgrade that would only affect very fat wallets. Others would just see a failed transaction, combined with the fact that Ledger hardware wallets may sometimes display fees in a non-human readable manner. Strachan said that DeversiFi is working with Ethereum JS maintainers to fix what he described as a defect in the library. It is also communicated with Ledger and has, for its own part, instituted safety and sanity security checks that were also added to ensure gas fees associated with transactions could not exceed unrealistic thresholds to protect against user error, extreme network fee spikes, and as an additional layer of protection against any future coding error. Anyways guys, we thank you for watching. Be sure to come back tomorrow for our newest video by of course subscribing to stay up to date with CoinMarketCap. And if you'd like to be notified when we upload, make sure to gently tap the bell icon down below. This has been your host Trev, and if you have any questions, just ask Alex in the description below. See you all tomorrow.